Okay, so these guys have now been vaccinated, but before they were vaccinated, they were being treated for a disease that's commonly known as coccidiosis in rabbits. What we actually should be saying is it's Eimeria, which is a type of coccidia that's found in rabbits, of which there are multiple different strains of Eimeria. Now, there's two main ones that will affect the rabbits. One will cause intestinal disease and one will cause liver disease. In the youngsters, intestinal disease will present as things like diarrhea and generally unwell, potentially, unfortunately, can include things like suddenly passing away. Unfortunately, these little guys did have a little sister called Custard, and she did pass away very recently. So importantly is to note was to do a post-mortem exam so we can actually see if there was any reason that we could be linking it to these guys having anything and being unwell as well. Although they presented well at the time, they could have become unwell. And a post-mortem exam revealed that we found Eimeria in the intestines of Custard. So what it meant was these guys have had treatment for a period of time before we can do vaccinations. The good news is they have improved really well in their condition, because although they were well in themselves, they were slightly low in condition last time. They're now in a good condition, so they've been vaccinated. Why Eimeria can cause diarrhea in youngsters is it attacks inside the little cells of the intestines. Now, the youngsters are very prone to developing diarrhea because they've got such fragile guts, and that critical stage between going from weaning to eating normal hay and pellets and greens can sometimes tip the balance of this. If Eimeria has attacked the gut and has caused changes in those tiny little cells and the little hair that's attached to those intestines, then they can induce things like Clostridium, which can cause a really fatal diarrhea. And that's why it's so prevalent in weanings compared to adults, whereas adults tend to have a version of the liver and they'll have liver coccidia, which is a slightly different presentation. Good news is these guys have got the all clear, they've now been vaccinated, they'll soon be neutered, and then they can have beautiful new homes.